A Telegram scam seeks to exploit the billion-dollar ICO. Venezuela may require all of its exports to be bought with the Petro crypto soon. A class action lawsuit seeks a recovery fork in the Nano blockchain. Salesforce to roll out a blockchain integration by the end of the year. And Lightning Network's Elizabeth Stark likes to put things in perspective when it comes to Bitcoin. A new Chinese industrial park focuses on blockchain and comes with $1.6 billion in partially government-backed funds. And Vechain joins Louis Vuitton's startup incubator program in Paris. We've got all your headlines mixed with some daily market analysis. I'm Elio Trades, and your FUD TV Daily Update starts now. Welcome back, FUD Nation. Diving in here on the total market caps, we can see that, yes, we're pretty much stagnating here. We're at $259 billion. That was about $2 or $3 billion down from yesterday, about $261 billion. And you can see we are doing some serious sideways action here. Obviously, a lot of these charts are looking very sideways, kind of flat lines here. If you look at these week charts, you can see in the top 20 or the top 12 coins at least, it's just all these flat lines of the last few days pretty much just stagnating sideways, which is always an interesting sign. You can always start to tell when there are serious patterns emerging throughout the market. But we are seeing, some bull runs that are kind of independent of the rest of the market. And like I said, ontology, I didn't think it was going to fall much further. And look, it didn't. It's just continued to sort of hold its strength here around that $3.50 mark, 52,000 Satoshis. Yeah, 53,000 Satoshis. It's extremely strong looking at this point here. And I don't think, in my estimation, I don't think it's going to pull back too hard because this pullback earlier in the week was a more significant percentage pullback and it just boomed right after that. So look for ontology to hold. I think it might actually even pump a little bit further. We also have Polymath, which is getting a nice pump because it got two listings on two different exchanges, Upbit and Bittrex. I believe it was Bittrex and Upbit. At any rate, we have Verge continuing to pump. If anyone understands why Verge is pumping, please do me a favor, shoot me a little line, DM me, send me a text message, anything you want to do. I'd love to know why Verge is still being bought. I do not understand this. And then Neo, it seems like there's been a little bit of a flip-flop between ontology and Neo, like Neo's pump yesterday sort of coincided, or the day before sort of coincided with a bit of a drop-off from ontology, and obviously those are hyper-connected communities. We also know that the Neo investors have been largely steamrolling and backing a lot of this ontology buying, which could be part of the reason why it's pumping so hard. At any rate, Neo with a nice little bit of pump here and Vechain with a decent recovery. And that kind of rounds out our big gainers in the top 100. There's not a lot more going on here. We have some significant losses, though. Not too bad. Whenever you keep everything under 15%, it's not too bad. Like I said, it's a pretty sideways day, pretty stagnant, more than it is up or down. It's more sideways. Elastos with a pullback, I'm a little bit bummed to see that. Obviously, they had a huge announcement, but I guess it was a little bit of regurgitated news as we knew they were working with Shanghai Auto Group. We just didn't get the full details on their implementation. Tron with a pullback here to 3.5 cents. And yeah, nothing too major going on here, nothing too major in the market. While the markets might not be acting too crazy price-wise, there is never a shortage of interesting news here in crypto land. And that is because there is a fake Telegram. That's right, a fake Telegram. Imagine that, a company that raised billions of dollars from complete strangers across the internet is being impersonated. Wow. At any rate, Telegram has now a fake entity that's been propped up in the UK and declared billions of dollars in funding. Anyway, let's just get the full story here. A company called Telegram Open Network Limited was registered in Britain on February 28 under the name Pavel Durov, who is the founder of Telegram. Telegram, a chat app with 200 million monthly users and a commonly used platform for ICO teams and investors to interact with each other. This is really the hub. If you're not a real avid crypto person, you wouldn't necessarily know this. But there's a chat app called Telegram, which is the hub of cryptocurrency interactions, largely because of its anonymity features and its robust chat interactions. It's a very cool app, and it's for some reason or another become really the hub for cryptocurrency conversations because of its encryption amongst other features. However, this Telegram Open Network Limited project is not a real entity. Obviously, if you've been following the Telegram story, you know that this ICO has raised over $1.5 billion. At this point, $1.7 billion, and the word is that they might actually be going back for more money. That's right. They might actually be seizing upon, in potentially an opportunistic play here, a chance here to really take so much money that they would just have so much liquidity to make this project a reality. It's absolutely insane. They already have all of the cryptocurrency users, so by putting in wallets and trading and different exchange capabilities, there's a lot that the Telegram Open Network could potentially do. Super exciting, but taking that much money is just insane. No startup needs that much money. And so regardless, this opens up a ton of opportunities for scammers and impersonators and people who want want to take a little bit of this superhighway of cash floating around the internet. So lo and behold, we have a Telegram Open Network impersonator. The founder, Pavel Durov, has just registered a UK company worth about £800 million, revealing a new British citizenship in the process. And the Telegram messenger was like, this is a scam. This is not us. So the company claimed to have $1.13 billion in paid-up capital in their registration, something that was, of course, suspicious. Such a sum would have initiated a massive tax bill under British law, which led British investigators to question the authenticity of the project. So this company claimed to have $1.13 billion in liquidity, which of course Telegram would have if they were opening this ICO because they have all that money. However, they also claimed that Pavel Durov is a British citizen, which he is not. It's definitely a confusing thing when a company pretends to be a legitimate entity, and a lot of people look for business registrations to legitimize cryptocurrency entities, not realizing that these can largely be fraudulent as well, and that there might not be the highest standards and practices for enforcing the legitimacy and authenticity of these registrations. Regardless, Telegram raked in about $850 million last week alone, on top of $850 million raised privately in February. This is an absolute monster behemoth of an ICO, and we can only expect for it to grow. And those affected by the BitGrail hack of Nano are seeking a class action reparation. That's right, they want a recovery fork initiated that will allow for them to recover their funds in full, and they're suing the Nano team. The plaintiff who initiated the complaint is Alex Brola, who apparently invested $50,000 in XRB Nano, or Roblox at the time, on December of 2017. He claims, however, that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of putative class members, and that this story is really just beginning. It certainly brings up an interesting question here of courts getting involved, forcing forked records to sort of recover funds. Very interesting question of how exactly legislation or the court system is going to get involved with this whole blockchain space, which is supposed to be immutable. And so the question of immutability and who is and isn't allowed to change records and under what circumstances brings with it some significant questions and some significant debates that will certainly rage on for the near, mid, and long-term futures. And $1.6 billion in blockchain development has been partially funded by the Chinese government. The Xiaogang Global Blockchain Innovation Fund is financed by the Yuhuang Government District. 30% of the total funds are government-guided, the Future Science and Technology City Administrative Committee, and the Hangzhou Haiyu Investment Management Co., which will manage the fund. At the opening ceremony, 10 different companies were successfully contracted for the Blockchain Industrial Park's development. 3 different blockchain-related entities, the Industrial Park, the Fund, and the Research Institute, will give academic and financial support to the development of blockchain technology in Hangzhou. This is awesome, and it leads us to believe that this is just the beginning of China really starting to nurture this blockchain world and bring about the innovators and reward them for their innovations, not stamp out and confuse people by punishing those who have been involved in cryptocurrency and blockchain, but instead by rewarding them and pouring fuel on the fire that is a cryptocurrency revolution. This is a bullish sign. And Venezuela might very soon start requiring that all exports be paid in the petrodollar. So apparently many state-owned companies will start charging for exports in the petrodollar, or PTR, and even real estate will be buyable or purchasable in this cryptocurrency. What this means is that Venezuela will be selling its oil, gas, steel, aluminum, petrochemical products, cocoa, and among other goods, all for the PTR, petrodollar. Also, the central bank was ordered to collect in petro for the mining of gold and other handcrafted items. Maduro said, quote, "I ask the world for respect. We do not get involved in the financial initiatives of other countries, whether they are powerful or not. Why does Venezuela have to be persecuted for trying to create a source of financing for its development, its happiness, for its peace and economic expansion?" ¿Por qué? And the eldest daughter of Catelyn Stark, Elizabeth Stark, the head of Lightning Labs, the direwolf of blockchain. Elizabeth comes to remind us of the greatness of Bitcoin. Now, obviously, if you don't know what Lightning is, you probably haven't been watching the show very much, but Lightning is, of course, the scaling solution for Bitcoin. It's a layer 2 solution. It sits on top of the blockchain, and it allows for essentially transactions to happen very fast for almost free, and it solves the questions of transfer times and transfer fees. Stark essentially is expressing that she feels like we're entering a Bitcoin, not blockchain world, where all of a sudden the Bitcoin doomsdayer is saying that this initial currency that was supposed to kind of die out and lead way to a blockchain world without Bitcoin is really being turned on its head, and that people understand the value of digital currency, and that the Bitcoin doomsdayers are really in for a rude awakening, as we do understand that Bitcoin is going places. We've seen so much volatility. We've seen so many dips, crashes, death spikes, whatever you call it. And here Bitcoin is resiliently pushing its way past 7K again, and we're going to see it make it sway back up to 10K again. It might go down to 5K in the meantime, but it'll still go back to 10K and then 20K and far, far higher. You can't stop it. Now that it's reached the critical mass and network effect that it has, with technologies like Lightning alleviating the problems with Bitcoin, which are transfer times and fees. No other problems with Bitcoin. There are no other problems. The only thing people complain about with Bitcoin are transfer times and fees. That's what Bitcoin Cash was all about. And with Lightning, we can literally eliminate this and make it so that not only Bitcoin, but any digital asset, any digital currency can really be used and transacted upon almost instantaneously and for free. This is cool, and this is where we're headed. You can't take out a cryptocurrency that's reached this kind of network effect. So if you're a Bitcoin doomsdayer, I feel terrible for you, but Lightning is coming to pop your bubble. And we have word that Salesforce is rolling out a blockchain integration as early as this year. So we don't really know a lot about what's going on here, but at a recent briefing for its CPQ software, the company praised revolutionary distributed ledger technology for its potential to verify and maintain contracts, send transactions, and automate trust. So there might be a financial component here, there might be a contractual component here, it's another HR play here, and it's really good for the HR industry here, which is a very booming and very applicable use of blockchain. Anyway, we don't know a ton about this, but it's a huge multi-billion-dollar unicorn entering the blockchain space. Adoption! That's right, we just got word that Louis Vuitton is launching a tech startup incubator in Paris under the LVMH umbrella. They're actually bringing Vechain in as one of their incubated projects for their first class. This is very amazing, and it buttresses nicely with what we know about Vechain as a product that's very much so targeted at the luxury goods market. We know that Sunny Liu, who is the CEO and founder of Vechain, is absolutely a veteran of the luxury goods market and was himself a member of the executive team at Louis Vuitton. Comes as no surprise that someone with such an experience in this region and in this industry would be looking to make inroads and develop partnerships just like this, helping Vechain get the edge and get more of an in the market of luxury goods than its competitors or the other blockchains that might be trying to do IoT or supply chain logistics tracking. This is a phenomenal piece of news, and we'll look for more out of this project as we see more developments and potentially more blockchain projects coming out of this LVMH or tech incubator that is being started by Louis Vuitton in Paris. Really awesome stuff, and definitely a story we'd love to cover. Thanks so much for checking out our daily FUD TV update. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and smash that like button and comment below. Of course, if you really loved it, go ahead and share the broadcast. If you're an investor or enthusiast in the space and you're not subscribed to this channel, you really should be. We do cryptocurrency videos each and every day on this channel, and we really strive to bring you the newest and truest in the space. I'm Elio Trades. It's been an absolute pleasure having you with me today on FUD TV, and I'll catch you very soon on the next episode.